USA, yeah!
This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 47.
The big 47.
Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Sup to our patrons.
Yo.
Sup, guys. How you doing? Thank you,
Carl?
Thank you, especially.
Yeah, Carl.
If you'd like to be a patron, just fucking do it.
At this point,
I say it every
there's
week.
no reason.
Yeah, every time we get a new patron, it's awesome. So I don't know. I'm going to keep saying it.
Until it stops working.
Yeah. And also, every time we get a new patron, the community gets better.
So if you're a patron, become a patron again.
Yeah, if you want to double down. Well, it's like a message board or something. It's like the more people that join, the better it gets. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's kind of feeding into itself at this point because it's like the coolest people on this podcast or the coolest audience members are all patrons.
Yeah.
It's like all the
Heart
like,
and soul.
You know, the like legendary ones are like patrons. So get in there. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Rate this on
Opening business. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
rate this on iTunes. I don't know.
Sure.
I saw that. I don't know if this is going to happen for all things, but Apple's splitting iTunes into 3 separate apps.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're getting rid of iTunes, and it'll just be just a podcast app.
That's good.
I don't know how that works.
Hasn't it been like that for a while?
It's like that
On
the-
phones, it
it's
has,
like-
but like
you mean
for like Mac OS, and I'm assuming
Desktop.
the same thing on
iTunes is
Windows.
stupid.
Yeah,
anyways. That's fine with me.
yeah.
Okay, so here's something that happened last night that fucking sucked. I was hanging out with my friend. I met my friend for dinner. We met, and then we walked to a restaurant. And the place that we ate was like kind of on a dock, essentially. It was like a bar area that was like floating on a floating dock over water.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, this was really fun, whatever. And so we're getting ready to leave. And you always do the
Wallet, keys, phone.
Yeah,
wallet-
yeah.
It's like wallet, keys, phone. It's like that's the pat check. Right?
Yeah.
And I had taken the keys to my Forerunner. I had this big key ring with like my gym, all my different gym swipe cards and like all my keys and shit. And on a trip I was on recently, they did some off-roading and that key ring was like banging on the dashboard and it was super loud and annoying.
So you took it off.
So I took it off. So I just had this bare key.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it's quite a bit smaller than usual. And so I get up to leave the restaurant and it's like, where's my key? Because I don't know if people do this. I always take my phone and like wallet. I empty the contents of my pockets when I sit down.
Oh, really? No,
Like at a restaurant. Yeah.
I usually take my wallet out just because I don't like sitting on it.
Yeah.
But I'll usually leave my phone and keys in my pocket.
Yeah. I empty it.
Yeah.
I just like dump everything on the table. And so I got up and was like, where's my key? Like, I don't have my key.
Uh-oh.
And so it's nighttime now, and I'm looking around, and we're on this fucking dock thing with these like rickety boards and there's no like guard rail or anything. So I was like, like fuck, like I think I dropped my key.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way, like I'm not that stupid. Like there's no way. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna walk back to my car and just pray that I somehow
Left it in.
like the key.
Yeah.
Like, because I locked the doors with the key. 'Cause I took everything off but the key. I didn't even have the fob. And so I was like, okay, we said bye or whatever. And I walked back to my car. All the way back to my car, it's like a ways. And I get back and it's not there.
It's like,
not
oh,
my
shit.
car. So I was like, all right. So I walk back to the restaurant. I'm like on the floor with
your
my
flashlight.
flashlight.
Yeah.
And people are like, what'd you lose? And like lost and found and stuff. And it was like, it's fucking gone.
Right.
It's like, it's in the water. There's like, it's pretty clear if it fell, it's in the water. Like it's like.
Could it have fallen through the slats?
Yes.
Okay. They weren't.
No,
Size
it
ball.
was like nightmare
Yeah.
situation. And it was like, I checked both lost and found, like indoor. I was like, no, we don't have it or whatever. And so I'm like, oh, fuck. I only had one key.
Oh, you don't even have an extra set like at home?
Nope.
Man.
It came with one key.
That's
and
rough.
so luckily I had the fob.
Yeah.
So I could, I didn't have it on me, but I had it at home. So I was like, okay, I'm like 20 minutes from home. It's like, and it's already late.
20 minutes by car from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to Uber home. I'll deal with this tomorrow. I guess I was going to start looking into it. So I get on my phone. It's like, I'm assuming the dealership can cut you a new key.
Probably.
With the VIN and like your registration.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, it's just like it's a fucking problem that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
A problem I didn't have an hour ago and now I fucking have it. And so I'm looking online and they're like, if you have a 98 or 99 or like 2000 4Runner and you lose your keys, you need a new, because it's a chip key.
Right.
And it's like right when they started doing
even that old, yeah.
Yeah, that with the transponder. It's like, you don't just need a new key, you need a new key, tumbler, and ECU.
Ooh.
ECU.
You need
because they can't reprogram it.
For some reason, they can't reprogram the ECU.
It was high tech enough to have a chip, but not high tech enough to be
the new ECU is like $1,600.
Jeez.
I'm just like, this went from
the problem's snowballing.
This problem is fucking spiraling out of control. It's 10 p.m. and the next day I'm supposed to drive here to do podcasts. And so now it's like, fuck, do I leave the car, I drive the M5 down and leave the 4Runner in this like shitty parking lot for like days? Or do I like tow it to the dealer? It was a whole fucking thing. And the girl I was with was like, oh, she's like, did you check the grass? Because we met in this grass area before we walked to the restaurant. And so it's this grass field. And so for like a half hour, I'm looking in this field.
This is the next day or this is the same night?
I was just about to Uber. Yeah. And she was like, did you find she called me. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Yeah. Like, I hung up. I hung up on her because I was like about to order an Uber. And she called right back and I picked up and she was like, did you check the grass? I was like, oh, you're right. Like, there's a glimmer of hope. And so I'm checking this field for like 20 minutes. And I was like, I'm fucked. And I'm like walking back, and as I walk back to bring my phone up to turn the flashlight off, it catches the key in the grass. And so the whole problem is vaporized. Jesus. And so I had dropped it in the grass. So I need to get, this moral of the story is I need a second key.
Yes. But how can they even do that if it requires a chip?
I found the key.
No. But they can copy the chip?
Yeah, so I don't understand. They must be able to copy the
chip signal. Okay.
But they can't force, or they can't
make a new one from scratch.
They can't make a new one just with the ECU. I don't know, but like I looked online.
That's Steve Toyota.
I looked at someone and they're like, "Oh no, the ECU can't be reprogrammed." I was like, "No fucking way!" And I checked a few other threads. It was like, "No, one time I bought a 4Runner for cheap because the guy didn't have that problem, and like it was like a $2,000 car." You know, I've never seen anything that fucked up. I thought it was gonna be like $200. I thought it was gonna be like a new chip key. And so the relief I felt of my life going back to normal after that was like, that
solid.
Fucking sucked. Yeah, it felt good though. So yeah.
Similar story to me. I don't think I've told this before, but it was when I first bought the STI, and the STI has a chip key too. It was probably like maybe a month or two after I bought it. And so I'm going out to start my car, and it goes and it cranks and it starts and then it just immediately dies. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then so I try to do it and I'm just cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking. I'm like, okay, it's just not starting. What the fuck? Something's obviously wrong. And I think it came with like 6 months or a year free roadside assistance from the dealership or something. So I call my work and I'm like, hey, I'm going to be late. My car's not starting for some reason. It's a brand new car. I don't know what's going on. So I call the dealership. They bring a tow truck. They, load it onto the flatbed and tow it to the thing. And they're like, okay, well, we might be able to look at it today, but we probably can't. We'll probably have to look at it tomorrow. And like you, I keep a bunch of shit on, or I did keep a bunch of shit on my keys. So I just gave the tow truck driver the second set of keys that I have. And so then he tows it to the dealership and I, get a ride to work. And so I'm working like that. And then in the afternoon, they call me and they're like, hey, John, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, we looked at your car. What seems to be the problem with it? And I'm like, well, it didn't start. I was like, I fired it up and then it died and then it would just crank and wouldn't start. And they go, well, that's weird. It starts right up for us. There's no problem at all. And I'm like, okay. And then she was like, wait, look. She's like, you have your key with you right now? And I'm like, yeah, I have it in my pocket. And she's like, look at the key and look at the bottom of it and see if there's like something missing. And I look at the bottom of it and there's a big open slot of where the chip should sit.
Oh, the chip fell out or something?
Yeah, it's because like it's like a hot, like, it's the key with the little rubber handle, and then there's a little slot out of it. What they do is they take a chip that has like a rubber thing and they glue it into it.
Yeah, it's like glued in.
And I guess the glue had just been shitty, and so the chip had fallen out.
Oh, it failed.
And so I had to get a whole new key, and then that was like $100 to have them reprogram and stuff. But yeah, it was just one of those things. It's just like, holy fuck, like I had never done it before because that was my first car that had the chip.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. I had the car towed to the dealership and it started right up for them because their key had the chip in it. But
dang, that's too bad that so the keys you gave to the tow truck driver would have worked?
Yep.
Oh. He like starts it and backs
like
it off.
all I had to do was just like look at the key and you could see that there was a big empty slot of like where something should go. But yeah, it was like a whole day ordeal. Thankfully, I didn't have to pay for it. Like if I had to pay for a tow truck and pay for a diagnostic fee and all this bullshit,
$500 or something. Yeah. Okay, so last week, I think it was last week, right? We had some user questions.
Yeah, Taylor asked. He asked for like bizarre used car buying experiences.
Yep.
We kind of ran through some of that stuff in the last one, but it actually reminded me when we bought the 80. I think it was 85 Civic wagon,
the blue wagon,
the blue 4x4 Civic wagon that we used like 3 years ago for the Gymkhana movie.
Yeah.
We bought that. I remember we went and bought that thing in Santa Cruz.
Well, you did.
Yeah. My brother and I went.
Yeah.
To get it. I remember when we bought it, like the car ran fine. It seemed fine. And it was like some old guy selling it. And he was like, yeah, it's a good car, but part of the reason I'm getting rid of it is, people just don't respect you when you drive this thing. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was just like some like weird old guy.
Right. Old
and he's
story.
like, yeah, people just, blow around you. They pay you no respect on the road. When you, I thought it was just like some kind of generic, like old guy ranting.
Yeah.
So we got the car back and then we're driving it around and within like minutes of taking it out on the road, I like immediately knew what he was talking about.
Because it accelerates pretty slow.
No, I mean, it's slow, but it's not like,
it's
not like can't keep up with traffic slow.
Yeah.
But it has it's just this like super tall, shitty, narrow car. And it's like, when anyone saw that car, they would just like immediately go around me.
Try to pass you.
Like regardless of how fast I was actually driving.
It's kind of like it's like a car you want to bully or something.
It's like a punching bag.
Just like, look at this piece of shit. It's pretty funny.
It probably doesn't help because like 90% of that car was glass, so they could clearly see you.
Yeah,
like they can see who's driving it. And
I don't know if it's they want a punching bag or they just imagine that car cannot like keep up with traffic.
They just hate whatever that car makes them feel.
But just like I mean, it's like, oh, I know, because that's what he was talking about. Like, let me fucking pass this thing. Like, I'm driving the speed limit.
I'm just driving to work. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like selling a car because people on the road hate you when you drive it. I just can't do it anymore.
They just don't give me the respect.
I just can't. Yeah, he buys like a truck or something. I just can't handle it. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
People just really took enjoyment out of passing.
Punching bag. Look at this asshole driving his Civic. Oh, man. Okay, what the hell is an Oldsmobile?
Oh, bravada. All right, so I got this one from our friend Eric, who we've mentioned a couple times. He's a regular listener.
What's up, Eric?
What's up, Eric?
So he just like told me the other day. I was at his house and he's like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you that I saw an Oldsmobile Bravada."
That was the story. That was his whole.
That was basically the gist of the story.
All right, here's a picture of an Oldsmobile.
What
Bravada.
generation? Because I just Googled it, and there's many a generation.
Well, the generation that he saw, I believe, was a second generation.
Okay.
So the Oldsmobile Bravada was an SUV.
Does that look like the Jimmy, the GMC Jimmy?
It was basically a rebadged version of the GMC Jimmy / Chevy Blazer.
Blazer, yeah.
Which was pretty like Oldsmobile. We also need an SUV.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I did not know this thing existed.
I didn't either. Yeah.
This moment.
And that's why it's quite special.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not even a crossover. It's like a body on frame, like old school SUV that like for some reason they made an Oldsmobile version of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oldsmobile added that to
it's
their
funny
range.
because for a long time GM, like at the height of its power, was like, we need a version for this dealer to sell.
Yeah.
So there's like the Pontiac like G whatever.
Right.
Like identical to whatever shitbox they had. Like we needed the Pontiac dealer wants a version of that
Yeah,
car.
right.
The Buick dealer needs a version. Okay, let's make a new one.
Yeah.
So it's basically that. But I was looking at it, and there was I think there's 3 generations, and the 3rd generation was based on like the Chevy Trailblazer,
Okay.
which those things are actually kind of cool.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
okay.
They had like a double overhead cam straight 6.
Yeah.
And looking at that, I was like, holy shit, they made a lot of versions of this car that I did not know about.
Yeah, this is news to me.
Yeah. So the Trailblazer, well, I don't know, I can't think it came out in like '02 or something.
Right.
I don't have Wikipedia in front of me, but I think it's like '02 to '09 or something.
01 to 09.
'01 to '09, close enough.
Good guess.
But so yeah, there's a GMC version. I mean, there's a Chevy version, of course, the GMC Envoy, and there's still the Oldsmobile version for the time when Oldsmobile still existed.
Yeah.
And they all look like pretty different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can tell that they're built off the same thing, but it's not just
Once you
like,
know.
but it's
Yeah.
not just like, oh, this one has a different badge and
Right.
slightly different.
Yeah. The
They're
front,
like,
the Oldsmobile looks way different.
yeah, it
the
has
front
like
end.
completely different headlights.
Yeah. It looks
probably
like they just
different
took like
taillights.
their generic sedan front end and
like,
just stuck it on. Yeah.
And like I said, that's not a crossover SUV. That's a body on. I don't know if it's body on frame, but that's like a
Yeah.
rear wheel drive sort of truck based
Right.
Yeah.
SUV. And then there was what else I didn't know. There's an Isuzu version of the same thing, the Isuzu Ascender.
Yeah.
And then best of all, there was a Saab version.
All right.
Because at the time GM
Owned it, right?
Yeah, GM. I think they owned all of Saab
Yeah.
in like the mid 2000s.
Hold on. There's also the Buick Rainier.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God. I knew I was forgetting one. So what is there, like 6 different versions of that same? 5 or 6?
The Isuzu Ascender. This family tree is just sideways.
Yeah. But I think the best one was probably the Saab 97X,
Yeah.
which if you look at it, like they did a pretty good job making it look like a Saab.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
it has
yes,
the Saab.
It has
like,
the Saab front end.
family.
Hopefully they still ran the same type of commercials for it, like enginered by like people who make
Swedes.
jets and stuff. Yeah.
Fighter jets and
Yeah.
stuff in it.
What is even the? This is like off-brand sodas. This is like Dr. Thunder.
Right. But it's actually made by Pepsi.
It's like,
Pepsi still makes this.
It's like which one's Pepsi?
But the
though?
sweetest thing is you remember the Trailblazer SS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which those things are pretty, it was like a
they're
6,
pretty
it was like
neat.
an LS2 all-wheel drive, like pretty high performance.
Yeah. I remember a lot of them on bags for some reason.
Oh, really? But so a Saab had a version of that called the 97X Aero. Like Aero was like Saab's like performance.
Yeah.
And like I know quite a bit about cars. I mean, just like funky cars and stuff.
Yeah.
But
You thought you
I
This
thought
is
I
a
did.
big eye opener.
Yeah, so I did not know there was a Saab 97X Aero,
And
which
it's
it's a trail,
rebadged.
it's a rebadged Trailblazer SS with an LS2, and apparently they made like 500 of them or something.
Holy
Damn.
shit!
And I was just like, God damn, that's pretty sweet.
That's the one.
Fucking learn something
Yeah.
new every day.
Yeah. Like it's actually like pretty cool looking too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of neat.
Yeah.
That is.
Like I could see that becoming like a borderline like collector car because it's so fucking weird. I mean, not like popular, but like
Yeah.
it's definitely rare. And the Trailblazer SS is still pretty popular.
A Saab 97X Aero looks like some fucking dude on Jalopnik would be like, buy this so I don't have to. like one of those.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
That's about as
Like, I honestly don't know if I probably have seen one, but I definitely do not remember.
Dude, I don't
seeing
know.
one.
I don't think I've ever seen
I
one.
didn't even know the 97X existed
Yeah.
until this moment.
Yeah.
Until literally this moment.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm pretty good about knowing like random ass weird cars. But
Yeah.
until
It's-
Eric brought up the Bravada,
Yeah.
which I knew about the Bravada, but I did not
Yeah.
know about all the
Oh, the offspring.
offspring.
It's not common that something like that happens.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, did you know about this car? That was,
especially
like, from a
especially in
decade
this
ago?
like information age where like,
Right.
you can find out anything
Where is this thing hiding?
quickly. I was like, damn.
There it is. So if any of our listeners has a Saab 97X Aero,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the same time, they had the Subaru version. There was like the WRX wagon.
oh
That was
yeah,
the,
that was Saab.
that was
you
sold
mean.
by Saab.
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
92X.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of came from that same
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
era.
Damn, that is probably the most badge engineered.
Some badge ass.
That is badge ass engineering. Jeez. Okay.
But you know how sweet it'd be if your garage, if you had
one of each.
Yeah.
if you had one of those 92X. Oh no, I seen if you had a Saab 92X.
97X.
97X?
No.
Or
Oh, you mean the
97?
If you had the Subaru version
Yeah,
and the GM version,
The Subaru, you
Like
mean?
those are your two cars.
Yeah.
Like, I just love Saab.
I'm just a big Saab guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a Saab aficionado. Yeah.
The
Is
nine-
Saab still around?
No, I think they went out of business like shortly after.
Yeah.
Did they even make a car that wasn't a
They
rebadged?
had the 9.3 and I think the
Yeah, they're
9.5.
like something like that. It was like a Accord style, right?
Yeah, I don't know how.
Like Accord
I don't
size.
know if they shared
Anything.
those still shared stuff with other cars. but-
Wow, I know very little
Yeah,
about Saab.
I think GM like started off owning like half of them, like in the 90s, and then by like 2000, they owned the whole company, and then
Damn.
they just kind of shuffled it off.
Yeah.
So
Was there an SS version of the Isuzu Ascender?
not that I know of.
Yeah.
Isuzu Ascender like GTX or something.
Yeah, it had like its own engine for some reason. Oh man, that thing is terrible.
Oh, the Ascender.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that would also be sweet to have one each of them.
Yeah. Like a whole museum dedicated
Bravada,
to it. Yeah.
Rainier, Envoy.
I'm sure at the GM headquarters, they got a whole showroom going back to
you
the.
can go see all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny. I think even like the normal versions of the 97X, they have like kind of fun, like European sounding names. I think it's like the Saab 97X, like 5.3i or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Even though it's just like
The trim levels.
yeah,
you
it's
mean?
just like whatever GM truck motor.
Wonder how those actually sold in Europe. Were they? I'm sure they were.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even sell them in Europe.
Yeah.
have you ever heard of an Isuzu Axiom?
No.
I've heard of it. I'm trying
Yeah.
to. Is that like a Korean? I think like every car that Isuzu has ever sold in the U.S. was rebadged.
Is it? Oh, okay.
No, and there's some like in the 80s that were their own cars.
The
kind of.
Ascender Trooper. Anyways, let's not waste too much breath on Isuzu.
Uh-huh.
What are they Japanese? I
Yeah,
don't even-
yeah. Isuzu's they mostly build trucks, like big trucks,
Like
commercial
this-
trucks.
Like freight trucks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like delivery trucks. The Elf.
Damn, here's a picture of an Axiom with Lambo doors.
Oh, damn.
Oh, okay.
The Suzuki was kind of like that.
Were they?
I mean, like Suzuki was like obviously they still make cars in Japan,
Right,
but like
yeah.
their U.S. offerings were like a bunch of like rebadged Daewoo's and stuff.
Yeah, I still see some Suzukis
Yeah,
around
like,
town.
There's like the Suzuki Aereo or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah.
And the Forenza.
Forenza. Man, do you remember that commercial?
Yes, I do.
I wonder if we could.
Yeah, we'll try.
All right, if we can find it.
I think we can find
There's
it.
all I remember from this commercial is they had an actor yelling Forenza in like a desert.
Yeah, I remember like
or
we were in
something.
college and we saw this commercial on TV and just like started making fun of it.
Yeah, it was like Forenza or something. It's like so like 90s, early 2000s.
I'm no car expert, but
I do know what I want. You know what I want?
more bang for my buck. More bang for my buck from a car and
A car company.
that's why I got a Forenza. By Suzuki. Suzuki! Woo! Protected by America's #1 warranty.
Numero uno.
And it's got more room and more features.
Then Civic. Then a Civic.
Forenza. It gives so much.
And it asks so little. Who says you can't have it all?
Forenza!
Okay,
But actually, while on the subject of
yeah. Speaking of,
badge engineered cars, there's like a bunch of cars that are like there's like the Toyota, or like Geo. The
Yeah,
Geo Prism,
the Prism.
Yeah.
/ Chevy Prism was just a Corolla,
Yeah.
and then there was like the Honda Passport.
Passport.
Yeah, the old Passport was an Isuzu Rodeo,
yeah,
and then there's the Isuzu Oasis, which was a Honda Odyssey that they just sold as an Isuzu for some reason, like in
Yeah.
the 90s.
yeah, and then all the popular stuff.
Yeah,
the
but
Dodge.
oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah. But the funny thing is the Prism and stuff. Whenever you see one for sale,
yeah.
like secondhand, the person is always like, "Oh no, it's actually made by Toyota."
Do you
Yeah,
remember?
it's super reliable.
There used to be a car forum in Fresno before Facebook called Fresno Street Racing, and there's a guy on there with a Prism, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I think there was. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
Paul or something.
kinda
And he had
remember
a
that.
prison, and he like thought it was like super cool. And I remember several times him being like, "It's actually a Corolla or whatever. Or what is it? A Tercel?
A Corolla.
It's like he's like, actually, it's like bulletproof. It's like a Corolla. Yeah, I just remember him like referencing that a few times.
Yeah, every ad for those cars, like secondhand, is like the Pontiac Vibe,
Yeah,
which
right.
was a Matrix. Like this was actually made by Toyota, and it'll go 300,000 miles.
Yeah,
like,
they're always like super self-conscious about it, like out of the gate.
or I don't know if it's that, or they're just trying to like act like it's worth more than
bolster the
Yeah.
This should be resell for as much as the Toyota version.
Right,
does,
exactly,
yeah.
Even though it's worth half.
even though it's the G. No, really, I swear it's a good car. Yeah.
Yeah.
This Isuzu, it's not an Isuzu, it's a Honda Odyssey.
Yeah. It's like try to find an ad of one of those cars that doesn't reference the car that it's based off of. Like the badge.
It's actually a good car.
Don't go buy the real one though.
Yeah.
To buy this one, just pay me as much as the real one would cost. Well, speaking of like funky cars,
This is a solid.
yeah, are you into Elements now? Like, what was the?
No, I wasn't into them. I just saw one for sale.
You were just thinking about
That was a stick, which was pretty sweet.
Yeah, because I have noticed the Honda Element. Like, it's funny how some cars, once you remember them, you start fucking seeing them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I noticed that when I bought a 4Runner.
Or the Cobalt.
Before I just like I didn't
Rondo.
care. And then I bought a 4Runner. I was like, these things are everywhere.
Yeah.
These are like cockroaches. They're freaking everywhere. And it's kind of the same way with the Element. Like,
Yeah.
At least where I am.
Once I brought that one up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Honda Elements.
I was like, I
are-
kind of want an Element.
yeah, they're kind of all over the place. And that vehicle at the time, I mean, maybe it sold well, but I remember thinking it was like kind of dud.
Yeah, it was like very bold.
It was
Like,
neat,
it was like
but like
funky.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, who is this for? And like, where does it sit?
I think it was designed for this car's designed for like snowboarders.
Yeah, and you could
stuff.
like hose out the
Right.
interior and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I remember just being like, that's silly.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a gimmick.
Yeah, that's like gimmicky or whatever. And they stopped. There's only one generation.
I think there's two, but I don't think they're that much different. I think they sold it to like 2011 or
Really?
something.
It's funny because now that's like
That's that's like a hot. It's like look
Yeah.
active,
Yeah,
adventure,
like,
overland.
They were super ahead of the game.
yeah,
However long ago. When did that thing
I
come
think,
out?
I think it came out like
mid-2000s
03 or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and so it kind of makes me wonder if they're still around, they must actually be good at that stuff.
You mean the car itself?
Yeah,
It's
the
good?
car must actually be like functional.
Yeah, no,
like,
I mean they
awesome.
have like it has like a K24.
Yeah. It seemed like at that time, like that and the Fit was kind of like modular, kind of like that. Like you could fold the seats or just take
Oh,
out the
yeah.
seats
Yeah,
all
they're-
together to like
they're-
make more
they're
room.
packaged
Like they were small cars,
very well.
but they were like marketed as like as much room as like an SUV.
Right.
And like, you know, the Element was just the more quote unquote SUV.
Yeah, it was
one.
just like a tall.
right.
I think it was like based on the CRV, but with like a lot more
Yeah.
Interior
more,
space.
personality.
Yeah. Single generation.
That's what I,
I thought
thought.
they just
yeah.
they just
the body
refreshed it.
style.
They just I know that like they changed the fenders and stuff later
Yeah,
on.
they
Yeah.
refreshed it.
Yeah.
Damn, we should get Elements.
All of us.
They're not bad.
They had an all-wheel drive version.
Hold
too.
on. Couldn't you get? Didn't they have like a supercharged one or something?
You could probably. I mean, if it's a K24, you could fucking do anything to it.
Yeah.
I swear I saw that.
I don't think so. I know the Jeep Renegade is turbo. Like, you
No,
know,
I think
the
there was
turbo.
one called an SC, but I don't think it was supercharged.
Oh.
It like stood for something else.
Oh, that's fucked
Sport
up.
compact.
Yeah,
or
it was
something.
like sport something.
They shouldn't do that.
No, it shouldn't fool you.
Yeah, they shouldn't do that.
Don't tempt.
Yeah, they should know that. They should know that the enthusiasts. will, yeah. Does anyone own an Element? Well, Honda also did that with the Cross. What was the Cord?
the
Cross
Accord
Tour?
Cross Tour.
Yeah, when was that thing? That thing was pretty early.
I think that was like 07.
Was it that early?
Yeah.
Dang,
It was really early.
I was thinking like 2010, but
Yeah,
maybe
it was
not.
really early.
Yeah, and the Cross Tour might not have come out till a little bit later, but it was based on the Accord.
Yeah, from that
came out,
from that
yeah,
generation.
that
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah, 2010.
Yeah, damn, genius.
But yeah, suck it. But yeah, that was kind of the same thing. It was like they I'm not gonna say these cars didn't miss the mark because they were kind of funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like they were very ahead of their time,
Right.
for
When
what
people
the demand would eventually
would
be.
change to.
It's like, oh, here's a crossover that's like as accessible as a sedan,
Yeah.
but like with some ground clearance advantage. It's like no one's gonna want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, ugly.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was out even before all the European like coupe SUVs.
Yeah,
that we
those
talk
are
about.
like 2014 or something.
Future classic.
Yeah, future classic right there in the making.
Yeah, the Nissan Xterra is another one
Yeah.
from that
was kind of
like
funky.
late '90s.
Yeah. It had like a very off-road,
Yeah, it had this
rugged
like
look.
very active, which I
Yeah.
guess that must have been popular in the 90s.
Didn't it have that like bulge in the rear
was
door?
like for a first aid
Yeah, it was
kit.
for a first aid kit. So stupid.
Those things are like
I thought those are actually pretty cool.
No, I mean
they're-
like, but just a bulge for a first aid kit.
Yeah, it's very.
You're gonna
rugged.
hurt yourself in this thing.
It's very rugged.
Yeah.
What was that based on?
I don't know.
the
Was it a Pathfinder? Was it like a
Maybe.
sportier?
Yeah, probably.
Pathfinder?
They're about the same size, I thought.
But those things are pretty. They're pretty cool looking when they came out.
Yeah,
they had that
they
like
are.
bright yellow.
Yeah, and they
there's one,
had-
there's one in The Sopranos.
They had that, like,
I didn't
refresh-
like him until I saw it in Sopranos.
Because
I was like,
doesn't he
oh.
like he like repossesses it from like his buddy?
It's like, oh, hold on.
I've been watching a lot of Breaking Bad again, and the Aztec just doesn't look that bad anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming around. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, speaking of forward looking. The
Puget.
Pugo.
Peugeot E Legend.
Yeah, so I don't pay a whole lot of attention to concept cars,
Yeah, me
especially European ones that from brands that aren't even selling cars in the U.S.
Yeah.
But I don't know when this was like
I think pretty recent.
a few within the last 6 months or something.
Yeah, certainly.
Peugeot showed, I think it's an all electric car, but it's called the E Legend,
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's a picture of it.
and it is fucking sweet looking.
It does look sweet. And the thing that makes me, it kind of looks like the IDX a bit.
Yeah, it looks like a refined.
Yeah, it's like a better version of the IDX.
Yeah.
And like the thing that they said they were drawing from also just looks like a more refined 510.
Right,
whatever
right.
The like
The vintage version.
Yeah.
504 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anything about those, but you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, that's got like the same kind of
But it's like,
looks.
why has no one actually sold a car that looks like that? I mean,
It'd probably be too expensive.
it doesn't look that expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. I bet they will.
But it's like
I bet they will.
like that car, even if it's not a Peugeot, like imagine you could literally bring that out as like the Nissan Skyline.
Yeah.
You know, like how people would like
People go
flip their
nuts.
shit
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
if that came out. Like it looks like as you'd ideally want. Like
Yeah, it looks dope.
it looks like a Hakoska Skyline. Like there's the new one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it's
does.
got like wide flares, but it's got like a very like upright, kind of like 70s looking. And yeah, did you look at the interior?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
freaking sweet.
It's like, god damn. I mean, I'm sure a lot of this, especially the interior,
yeah, it'll
is
probably
like
get
kind of
toned
concept.
down.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But if
like-
it looks like close to that,
Like, how has no one actually made a production car that looks like that?
yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm
like,
stoked.
and it has like the roof line that's like the antithesis of the Camaro,
Yeah.
where it's like you have these gun slit. Where like this has like a tall greenhouse,
Right.
but it's still and it has like super thin pillars.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I say it's like one of those cars. If you read about it, you're like, oh, whatever. It's a fucking electric car
Yeah, right.
concept. But then you see it, you're like, god damn.
Well, I hope that's what electric cars do is they force differentiation in styling.
Right.
Because they're all going to be
because
electric
they're all
batteries.
similar.
you know?
They're going
Yeah.
to be driven the same.
So I'm all about that. That'd be great. The other electric car that I'm stoked about, but I don't even know if it's a concept, that Honda E.
That Civic looking thing?
They're actually building that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
gonna be like on sale.
That's
in
like
the
on
next few
sale.
months.
That thing looks so sweet.
Not in the U.S. though.
Yeah, for
But
whatever
at least
reason,
not
in the US.
not now.
I'm sure it'll come here because I feel like that.
And
would
that's like
kill.
rear motor, rear drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's probably pretty cheap.
yeah. That
Yeah.
thing looks.
That thing and then the VW Bug. Or not the Bug, the
bus,
van.
the
The bus.
Buzz
Yeah,
or whatever.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see like all those. I could see being like fashionable,
Right.
Beyond just being it's an electric car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Although it would be sweet if they made a fucking gas version too.
Of the Honda
Yeah.
one. I'm sure as soon as it
Yeah.
comes out, somebody's gonna like
Someone's gonna
stuff an
type-
S2000
or like a
Or Type R.
CBR 1000.
Yeah.
or something.
yeah. Yeah, I wonder how big it is. I haven't looked enough.
I think it's pretty small, and that's part of the reason why they're like,
Oh, it's like a
Might
city
not,
car
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's one of those cars. It's hard to say unless you've like stood next to one.
Yeah, well, it looks cool. From
Yeah,
pictures.
it looks like Fiat 500 size.
Yeah,
I would drive the shit out of that thing in a small town.
born in a small town.
Yeah.
Get
Okay.
copyright infringed for that.
No, I just demonetized John Cougar Mellencamp.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a car that I often make fun of its name.
What this goes back to our topic of like the lamest, funniest names of cars.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't think of those.
Where we had Rondo.
Yeah, a couple
Kia Rondo is the current.
podcasts
The
ago,
current
we were like
king.
talking about funny car names.
What else was there? Like the Isuzu Ombre.
Yeah,
Amigo.
Yeah.
But in the department of cars that were not sold in the U.S., the Renault Twingo.
Yeah.
Need I say more?
Set that out there and let it marinate.
Renault Twingo.
I don't actually know what it looks like.
I'm
guessing it's freaking tiny.
It looks about as you'd expect
Yeah,
a car
it looks-
called the Twingo to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
But you know what the sweet thing is that you probably can't tell by looking at it, but that thing's rear engine.
Oh, really?
Really?
Rear wheel drive.
That's cool.
Even the first generation or just the new one?
I don't know about the early ones. I know like the current one.
yeah.
Dang.
Okay.
Sporty. Dang, very sporty.
Which is like, I don't know. I guess it's for packaging reasons, but that's pretty
It's
sweet.
the French 911 then, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I think I read that it actually shares a platform with the smart car.
Oh.
Which those things are also rear engine.
Yeah.
Except they suck. But it seems like a more stylish, more practical version of a smart car.
Those city cars are they just like, I don't know if they're ever going to have their time in this country.
No,
Because,
I mean
like,
smart tried, and I think they already left the U.S.
Yeah, it's like the only place that would work, the only places a car that small would work are like going to be the first places to adopt like autonomous car. Like, it's like
or people that just aren't going to drive in the first place.
Yeah, it's like the public transportation. It's
Actually,
like they just don't work.
We went to the
here.
store and we parked next to a newer smart car.
Yeah,
And I was just like, why would you drive?
why
like,
would you subject yourself?
especially
to those?
here? Like, this is not a place where like parking and parking spots are at a premium.
Right.
It's like parked next to like a Tahoe.
Yeah, right.
It's like, why would you drive a tiny?
Especially
like
when I see one like on a highway or something. I'm just like, God, going like 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't really know why you would buy
Why would you
that here.
bother? I don't know.
At that point, just get a motorcycle.
It's probably about as
Probably
safe.
safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like those cars, but I mean, I guess we just kind
It's
of
not a hot hatch.
Well, yeah.
No, I think they make like a hot, like a hot version.
Yeah, they
that
do.
has,
instead of
like,
70, it has like 93.
yeah,
Right, exactly, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I looked and it says like this thing has like a 900 cc turbo 3-cylinder or something.
Scorcher.
Yeah.
So all I do is just dream of driving a Twingo.
Yeah.
Let me go hop in my Twingo.
At the same time, though, like I would drive. I don't like the city car idea of it. I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize how I can want that Honda electric thing if it's tiny.
I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure you could look up the dimensions, but
Yeah, it's not that
I
small.
don't know if it's like tiny or
Yeah.
it's just like the size of like an
Quite
older
small.
Civic.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
But I mean, people drive a lot of the Fiat 500.
Yeah, I see those all
electrics.
over the place.
Those sold pretty well.
Yeah, that's true.
And I drove yours for like a couple of days. We swapped,
that's right,
we swapped
that's
cars
right.
for some reason.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think because we were filming something with the STI. Or
maybe.
something.
Yeah. That was fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a little tough if you have to like put people in the back seat.
Right.
But otherwise,
Yeah.
serviceable.
Okay. I think we're going to disagree on this next one.
I don't know. All right. We're about to see.
It's going to be a hot take.
Okay, so this is a controversial topic, apparently. People that are way into car care.
Yeah.
Super.
It's like a growing trend. Like
Detail.
I don't remember really hearing about this much like 10 years ago, 10 years ago.
I think it's existed, but there's just more
there's more-
product.
Now there's more
product.
yeah, there's more product.
Like
There's like a whole
YouTube
there's like a whole
tutorials and
industry,
Right, of car care.
which is because as much as I fucking love cars and must like think about cars at all times,
yeah.
I've never really done more than like wash a car, put a coat of wax on it,
Yeah.
and apparently there's. I mean,
Have
people
you waxed a car?
Yeah, I was going to say, have you actually done it?
I've helped. Okay. But like I say, most of the cars I don't own long enough to actually need to wax.
care.
But I've like rubbed out.
I mean,
like,
you're supposed to
old
like
cars.
wax a car probably every month.
You're
right?
supposed those intense ones. You're supposed to like.
Do you guys wax?
I don't wax.
I pay people to do it.
I know of someone who does. No, I've waxed my car like twice ever or something. Because when I do it, I'm so slow.
And I think it's also different from a
slow
car
with
that you're
stuff.
parking outside all the time versus like a garage.
When I first bought the Jeep, I actually bought like a buffing machine and like a bunch of those polishes and cutters and stuff, and like actually went to town on the STI. Like I spent like a couple hours a day, and it took me like a week.
Oh, that's right. I remember
to actually do the whole thing, and it was kind of it was fun because you get to see the car come back. It was like a 10-year-old car that had rarely been garage kept. It was mostly in apartment carports and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and you could see the paint actually come back to life, especially a black car.
Right.
Yeah,
but that's as most as I went.
Yeah, the problem with that stuff is like if to really do it right, unless you're super efficient at it, it can take like multiple days.
Yeah.
And you'll do it once, and then it's like, well, one, now I kind of don't want to drive it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And two, it's like, you're not going to want to do that again in 2 months.
No.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it probably won't be that intense, but the thing I started doing with the M5, there's just a sealant, a liquid sealant product.
It's like F11 or something?
Nah, I can't remember what it's called.
Oh.
But it's like, I guess that's the thing now is people are moving away from waxes and just doing sealants. And that wasn't too bad because you just kind of like wipe it on and buff it off kind of thing. But yeah, I used to wash my car like every week, every Friday before we'd go out.
Yeah, well, I mean, washing a car is one thing where you just, I don't want my car dirty.
Right. Yeah.
But when, like, let's say I've never gone anywhere. I mean, like, I used to go to car shows and events all the time for work. And I've never been like, oh my God, that car is fucking detailed. Like that car is beautifully detailed.
Right.
Yeah. Which I guess maybe like the public isn't supposed to enjoy.
Yeah,
like, it's
there
more
might
like
be something where you just.
It's more like for the owner's pride.
I think so. I also think
like I said, people just said those like, here's all my detailing product. Like I'll make this car shine.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't believe.
I do semi nerd out on that stuff. The more it's more enjoyable on an older car, like what John was saying.
Like bringing it back.
Yeah, when you're seeing, because it's like, oh, it's like brand new and I'm keeping it nice. It's like, that's boring.
Right.
But if it's like 10, 15, 20 years old and like the weather stripping's kind of fucked up or like the headlights are a little hazy or the paint's not perfect, I think that stuff can be fun.
Yeah.
But not
like,
regularly.
Yeah, it's like I'm a member of some like Civic Type R group on Facebook, and like all the posts, half the posts are like, I just did a whatever expel clear wrap and
all this ceramic coatings and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's like okay, like I understand you're trying to make your car, keep your car looking nice, but it's like I don't know, it's a Civic, like But on the other hand, I love when I see like a shitty car that's really clean, not like stunningly clean, but just if you see like a guy that has like a 95 Corolla, but it's like he just washed it, it's super nice.
Yeah.
Or just like I say, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just like, oh, this guy like likes to keep his car clean.
Right.
Even though it's not a special car at all. You're like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I feel like trying to keep the car at like 99% brand new is like kind of overkill for in my opinion. Because when I like the STI, like I said, was never garaged, and when I buffed it, it brought it back to the level where I was like, damn, this looks good. Like it didn't look brand new, but
sure,
I think it was good enough.
Yeah, but someone who's like super OCD would be like, it still looks like shit.
You still need to do some paint correction.
You're gonna crack the paint.
Right. And so I feel like unless it's like a very expensive car, like a 918 to do that ceramic coating and stuff, that's just, in my opinion, that's kind of too much.
Yeah. I just don't have the discipline to keep up on it.
But it's sort of like how I know a while back we talked about the people that like when they take their car on a road trip, they like cover the fucking front end in painter's tape.
Oh yeah.
I don't want any rock trips.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I understand, but your car looks like shit when you're driving it. Fucking bright blue tape all over it. No, you don't understand. I don't want rock chips.
Yeah. I don't care how the car looks. I don't want rock chips while it's sitting in the garage. Yeah. Okay. I think I agree with you semi. I just like...
I appreciate a clean car. Maybe I just don't have the energy or time to like think that much about it.
The thing that I like doing is like every once in a while I would just buy some product to get really excited about it. Like I think that's where my hesitancy is. Yeah, because on the 4Runner, like I bought it's called, I forget, like Gummy Fledge or something. It's this like German product, and it's specifically to re-moisten dried weather stripping.
Yeah.
And it's like killer. It looks amazing now on like a 20-year-old car, and so that to me was really rewarding. But it's like, that's not really detailing a car. That's
Right.
just me buying a product and getting excited about it. And I did the same thing, those like black plastic weather stripping or whatever, the bumper guard around the circumference of the M5.
Right.
I like bought a product to like make that darker.
Bring it
and
back.
I enjoyed that. Yeah. So every once in a while I will like buy something like that, use it once, and then like get excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Let us know.
Let us know. Do you like clean cars?
Let us know how much you see. At the same time, though, I do like I will get like Q-tips on the interior.
Oh, really?
Kind of shit. Every once in a while, you know, I'll go. I guess only when the car's new. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, that it's hard to keep that up.
Yeah, yeah. I certainly don't keep.
Especially if
it
you
up.
have a fucking kid, then it's over.
Right. Yeah.
It's like those days.
Yeah, and you're just like roughly vacuuming the majority of the Cheerios.
Yeah. Goldfish crackers.
out of the seats. Okay, finally,
All right. Finally.
let's talk about
All right.
the
This
scum
is
of the earth.
the scum. Yeah. So I just want to say that anyone who leaves anything on your fucking car
Yeah.
can go to hell.
Yeah.
I mean, like any piece of paper,
Yeah,
flyer,
yeah.
especially under the windshield wiper.
Right. Where you like don't even notice it sometimes when you get into the car. Yeah.
I just want, like, how is that fucking allowed?
Right.
I wonder if it is.
I don't
Probably
know.
Isn't.
It's like everything against that. There's not everything against that.
And how often has like someone left something under a windshield wiper
like,
and the
wow.
person looks at the piece of paper and goes, "Oh wow, I'm
Yeah,
gonna."
people just like immediately throw it away.
First of all, when people fucking talk about climate change and the environment, it's like, how about stop by fucking giving me paper that I don't want? Like, start with that.
Yeah. Snail mail.
Yeah,
Full of coupons.
yeah, junk mail. It's like,
junk mail on
start
that.
with that, the shit that nobody wants.
Yeah.
And then you can fucking change like the face of the industry later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, you know, first of all, like, don't touch my fucking car.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm going to walk over to your car. I'm going to grab your windshield wiper. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my piece of paper over it. I'm like, you're just fucking making litter.
Yeah. Get away from my car.
It's like, I don't want to buy your shit.
Yeah.
It's like, how is that, especially in the state of California, that like regulates the shit out of everything. Oh, it's fine. You want to just give people some trash so they have to throw it away? Like, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny too when you see people doing that and you're like getting near your car. They usually skip you.
You're right,
Because
yeah.
like they know nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
It's like they know.
Well,
that
they know it's super awkward to like put something under someone's windshield
Well, but they
wiper
won't
while
even-
they're sitting in the car like 3 inches in front.
Yeah,
of
but they
them.
won't even like hand it to you.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
They just know
They'll
you're
steer,
probably
they'll
not
just steer
gonna be,
clear.
They know you're probably not going to be interested.
But it's like, it feels like insulting. Not insulting, but like, why did you give me this garbage that I'm now responsible for throwing away?
yeah, now I have to throw this thing away.
The thing is, like, I don't litter at all, except I almost feel like it when I see that. Like, I just want to like immediately throw it onto the ground
Right.
next to my car. Just like, there you go. Like,
It's their fault.
Yeah.
well, I mean, they're
If you see
producing
litter,
trash.
it should be them.
Yeah, they're the one who put the trash on your
Yeah,
car.
I did not ask for garbage to be on my car, but you put it there,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
It's kind of the same thing with door-to-door salesmen. Like, how are
Oh,
those?
yeah.
How are door-to-door salesmen still a thing?
I don't fucking
Like,
know.
how often does someone come to your door and they tell you about something? You're like, yeah, I'm totally into that. It's like, get the fuck off my
I'm
porch.
totally into spam mail in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, and if you're not home, they just leave the flyer in your fucking door, handle or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's still a thing.
still a thing.
Still a thing.
Yeah, but,
Most part.
I just don't know how it's legal, or at least like not frowned upon to go around and put paper garbage on someone's car in a fucking digital era.
Yeah,
Damn.
Go touch your windshield and leave some garbage. You can throw it away yourself.
very heated. You should run for city council and get on top of this.
No one cares about these issues.
It's a hot topic.
I think people do like spam calls.
Yeah.
like,
Junk mail.
just
Junk mail.
Spam junk in general is like
Like, wouldn't you vote for someone for president if they just said like, day one,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make like,
after
I mean
war.
like junk mail. Like,
Yeah.
you have to opt in if you want it. Like,
go
otherwise,
ahead.
The war on spam. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
that's the president we all want. I'm going after spam calls. And
Big spam.
People leaving shit on.
But
your
like that
windshield.
affects everyone. Like, it affects the rich, the poor, the middle class.
Those are truly
Like, they all-
issues that affect everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, let us know what you think.
Let us know if you like.
Yeah, let us know if
Flyers.
you've ever left flyers on.
The one thing I'd sort of make an exception for is sometimes if you go to like a car show, people will leave flyers for other car shows.
Right.
Which at least that's like targeted.
Yeah. You're
Like,
semi-interested in car shows.
Like, you still usually have to throw it away.
Right.
Yeah.
But at least like it's not like we just put this on every single car we
Yeah,
see.
you kind of showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm less mad about.
And your
that.
windows are usually down,
Yeah, right.
so they just kind of drop it on the seat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed this therapeutic.
Covered a wide range of topics in this one.
Again, thank you to all our patrons. Seriously, you guys, that means a lot to us. Really appreciate that. And thanks for everyone for listening to this. We appreciate that as well.
Yep.
So check out the new podcast on the Patreon, the exclusive one that we have if you haven't yet.
It's very good.
Speaking just to our patrons and all the people who are going to sign up for Patreon after I said that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed and see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.